Merry Christmas, friends. Well, I'm Abby Tennis. It's good to see you all. I have the privilege and honor of serving as your lead minister here at First Unitarian Church of Philadelphia. Whether this is your first time here or your 1,000th time here, we are so grateful to be together tonight. Tonight, in a little while, our choir will sing the words, "A thrill of hope, a weary world rejoices," in the beloved carol, "O Holy Night." And these are the words that I have pondered the most as this evening has approached. Christmas, a holy night, a night when a weary world rejoices. And the question I keep asking myself is, how can our world rejoice in such weary times? A time of war and illness, suffering and depression, a time when so many of us just want a break from the responsibilities of our lives or from our loneliness, from the news cycle riddled with crises, or from the endless bills that keep coming, or just a break from a persistent backache, neck ache. Because how can such weariness coexist with joy? And then I think of the Christmas story itself that we've heard tonight, an ancient story told in several thousand conflicting ways, a story grounded not so much in fact as in faith, a story of hope and joy, of anguish and fear, a story that feels so distant to us. And yet, perhaps this year, when so many are suffering in the land that Jesus also called home, a story that maybe feels too near this year. And what I keep returning to is that I don't think there's any part of life that so powerfully speaks both to weariness and rejoicing as new parenthood. New parents are the ones who are laughing the hardest. And so I'm thinking about Mary, who was a teen mom who traveled 90 miles on foot, or maybe at best on donkey, while 8.5 months pregnant, through winding mountain trails from Nazareth to Bethlehem, and arrived only to be turned away from any warm, well-lit, or safe place to give birth. Mary, who it's told was then gave birth in a barn, wrapped her tiny baby in some kind of makeshift onesie, and laid him in some kind of makeshift crib. She and Joseph must have been so exhausted. And then the visitors came. So this is my Christmas Eve joke for you all. The visitors came, at which point Mary must have said something like this: "Well, I just had a baby in a barn. So thanks to everyone who brought gifts. The gold and the perfumes are all things babies love." Really helpful. And also to that child who inexplicably paid drums like right in my face: "Thanks, kiddo, this was all so great." In seriousness, at the deepest point of their exhaustion, when the pain of labor was finally over, when the baby was finally here, and maybe before all the strangers and the little drummer boy and all the sarcasm arrived, Mary and Joseph, like nearly all parents, must have looked upon the face of their newborn child and marveled. Like every baby, Jesus surely was perfect. When he stretched his hand and gripped Joseph's finger, when he blinked and looked up into Mary's eyes for the first time, they surely knew that deep joy that transcends all of the pain and the weariness that led them to that moment, and that transcended all of the trials that were still to come for them. Christmas, when a weary world rejoices, beginning with that very first Christmas in that barn, where those parents' whole world was that new family. Christmas always begins at midnight, preached Unitarian minister Reverend A. Powell Davies on Christmas Eve of 1944, in the 5th year of World War II. He said, "Whenever we feel pessimistic concerning the future of humanity upon the troubled planet, we can always remember this, that with all humankind's fear and failings, humans have yet somehow managed to put the brightest part of their festivals in the darkest part of the year. When it is darkest, humans celebrate the light," he preached. "When the earth is most desolate, we carol our joy. For certainly," he said, "certainly we shall not find it easy to be spontaneously happy in a world so full of miseries, and nor should we. If we are to celebrate the ancient festival of light overcoming darkness, it must be in the full knowledge of how dense the darkness against which the light must shine." Christmas is not always a time of spontaneous happiness for all of us, but from that first Christmas until today, it can be a time of rejoicing. For happiness goes and comes as fast as our whims and our circumstances, but joy is an inner state, a trust that life is worth living, a trust that love is real, a belief that there is reason to hope despite all that is challenging in this world. Happiness comes and goes, but joy can journey with us alongside our grief, alongside our weariness, and alongside all of the ups and downs of our lives. The Christmas story reminds us year after year that each night a child is born is a holy night, that each child born is a sign of pure and unfettered hope. Because though no angels herald their beginnings, no prophets predict their future courses, each new life that is born into this world might become the person that finds the cure for cancer, or the person that builds lasting peace in the Middle East. Each new person coming into this world will surely be loved by someone. When they enter a room, someone's eyes will light up. When they leave a place, they will be missed. Though through their very existence, they will bring greater love into the world. And love leads to the transformation that our world so deeply needs. My friends, do you hear what I hear was written during the Cuban Missile Crisis? It came upon a midnight clear was written during the U.S. war with Mexico. O Holy Night was translated into English during the Civil War and the struggle for the abolition of slavery. Maya Angelou's poem, Amazing Peace, was delivered at the White House tree lighting ceremony in 2005, just a couple of months after 150,000 people descended on Washington, D.C. to protest the Iraq War. Christmas always begins at midnight. My own baby was born just 6 months ago. And my labor began around midnight and then galloped ahead fast and furious until she was born at 3:02 a.m. And when our midwife placed her in my arms, all I could say as I beheld her little red pout and her mop of dark hair and her perfect tiny nose and her alert little eyes was, "Hi, hello. Hi. Hello." Speechless, other than offering the most simple greeting I had over and over and over again. Hi to this little being whose very existence is so infinitely improbable that she might be called a miracle. Hello to this little person who carries an infinite future of possibility in her tiny little body. In the time of Mary and Jesus, I wonder whether she also was speechless except for a simple greeting. Greeting her child when she had no other words would likely have been the word shlama, or peace. It would have meant hi, hello. It would have meant peace. Peace to this being whose very existence is so infinitely improbable that he might be called a miracle. Peace to this person who carries an infinite future of possibility in his tiny little body. We, angels and mortals, believers and non-believers, look heavenward and speak the word aloud, peace. We look into our world and we speak the word aloud, peace. We look at each other and then into ourselves, and we say without shyness or apology or hesitation, peace, my brother, peace, my sister, peace, my sibling, peace, my soul. Each of our births heralded a thrill of hope and a weary world of rejoicing. And so in the midnight of Christmas, in this, the darkest time of the year, may we, the weary, still find joy. May we greet each new hope with words of peace, and may we be love to one another. May it be so. Merry Christmas and amen.
Hi, I'm Reverend Hannah Capaldi.
And I'm Reverend Abby Tennis. We are the ministers at the First Unitarian Church of Philadelphia, where our mission is to awaken love and justice in our lives and in the world.
We're so grateful that you watched, and we hope that the sermon connected with your soul.
We also want to invite you to join us for a live worship service every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You can always find the link to that service on our website at www.philauu.org. In these services, you'll hear words like you've just heard, and you also get a chance to greet one another, pray together, sing together, and we even hold a virtual coffee hour after services to get a chance to greet some new and old friends.
If you want to support the mission of this community and you feel moved to give, you can do so by going to the website that Reverend Abby just mentioned. You can find that link below, or you can text 215-709-5095 and follow the prompts to give.
If someone in your life needs to hear these words today, we encourage you to share this video. And again, thank you so much for watching.
We hope to see you soon.